Hat-Mehit, the fish goddess of Kemet. Hat-Mehit, also written Hat-Mehit or Hat-Mehit, was an ancient Kemetic goddess associated with fish, the Nile's life-giving waters, in the city of Djedet in the eastern delta. The Greeks later called this city Mendes. Her name, Mehit, is generally translated as foremost of the fish. However, because the relevant word can also evoke flooding or inundation, her name may carry a second meaning, foremost of the inundation. This makes Hat-Mehit more than a goddess who simply resembles a fish. She represents the living abundance that emerges when the Nile's waters renew the land. Her origins evidence for Hat-Mehit reaches back at least to the Old Kingdom. She appears to have originally been the primary guardian goddess of Djedet and the surrounding 16th nome of Lower Kemet. Her fish was the sacred emblem of the entire region. This tells us that Hat-Mehit was not merely attached to an animal. She embodied the identity, environment, economy, and spiritual life of her community. Djedet stood within the Nile Delta, where water, fishing, transportation, agriculture, and trade were inseparable. Hat-Mehit personified the divine power operating through that aquatic world. How was she depicted? Hat-Mehit could appear as a complete fish, a woman carrying a fish-topped standard, in woman standing beneath the solar disk and cow horns associated with Isis and Hathor. The precise species of lizard or sacred fish remains debated. Older interpretations identified it as a dolphin or lepidotous fish, while excavators at Mendes have argued for the Nile catfish Shilby mistus. The important point is that the fish was not decorative, it was Hat-Mehit's divine signature. Her divine powers. Hat-Mehit's surviving traditions do not give her a neatly defined collection of powers in the modern superhero CG governed. The Nile's living abundance fish appeared in great numbers throughout the Nile system and provided food, trade goods, and economic stability. Hat-Mehit therefore and represent nourishment and the abundance concealed beneath the water was inundation and renewal. If the secondary interpretation of her name is correct, she was also connected to the Nile inundation. The flood transformed dry ground into fertile land, carrying the possibility of new life within its water. Hat-Mehit consequently symbolizes life emerging from apparent emptiness. Regional protection. As the patron goddess of Djedet, Hat-Mehit protected the city, its waterways, its people, and its prosperity. She was the divine presence of the region itself. Fragrance and sacred oils. Djedet became an important center for perfume production. Hat-Mehit acquired titles including Lady of Punt, Lady of Mir. She who creates everyone's scent. This expands her identity from water and fish into perfume, purification, sacred fragrance, and the transformation of natural substances into divine offerings. Searching and restoration. In later theology, Hat-Mehit became associated with Isis and the search for the dismembered Asar. She was described as searching through the flowing waters for the missing parts of her divine brother. Here, her ability to move through hidden waters becomes symbolic. Hat-Mehit can find what has been lost, recover what has been scattered, and assist in restoring what has been broken. The Mendesian divine family Hat-Mehit eventually became part of the divine triad of Djedet. Hat-Mehit, the maternal fish goddess Beneb Djedet, the ram deity and Ba of the Lord of Djedet, Horus the child. Their divine son Hat-Mehit may originally have held the dominant position in the city. As Beneb Djedet's worship rose in importance, she was increasingly presented as his consort. This is a familiar pattern in ancient religious development. A powerful local goddess is not erased, but reorganized within a new divine family. Her connection to Isis during later periods, Beneb Djedet became associated with Azza. Hat-Mehit was consequently identified more closely with Isis. Like Isis, she became a divine wife and mother, a searcher for the missing Outzar, a power of restoration, a protector connected to water and regeneration. This association preserved Hat-Mehit, but it also partially absorbed her independent identity. She increasingly became understood as the Mendesian manifestation of Isis, rather than solely as the original fish goddess of Djedet. The mythological meaning of the fish in Hat-Mehit's mythology. The fish represents several interconnected ideas. Life concealed beneath the surface, fertility carried within water, abundance that cannot initially be seen, movement through uncertain environments, the recovery of things lost in the depths, survival through adaptation, the mysterious life of the primordial waters. The fish inhabits a world that human beings can observe but cannot naturally enter. It therefore becomes a symbol of hidden knowledge and unseen existence. Hat-Mehit stands at the boundary between the visible land and the invisible world beneath the water. Modern psychological meaning. Psychologically, Hat-Mehit represents the part of us capable of moving through emotional depths without drowning in them. Water often symbolizes memory, emotion, trauma, and the unconscious. Hat-Mehit does not command these depths from the shore, she belongs within them. Her lesson is that what disappears beneath the surface is not necessarily destroyed. Something lost may still be recovered. Something buried may still contain life. Something that appears empty may be filled with unseen possibilities. Final thesis should not be reduced to the quirky title of the fish goddess. She was the divine embodiment of an entire delta environment, its sacred fragrances, fertility, and hidden abundance. Wisent. Her central power is life beneath the surface. Hat-Mehit represents the truth that creation does not always arrive through fire, thunder, or conquest. Sometimes power moves quietly beneath the water, feeding communities, carrying memory, concealing lost things, and preparing life to rise again.